This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here with a good pal of mine, Mr. Alec Colyer, who until reasonably recently was the gentleman who ran the show down at Parkdale's Tennessee Tavern. Alec Colyer, tell us what you've been up to since the lockdown.
Well, Jamie, I mean, to be honest, the first couple of weeks of lockdown, I didn't do anything, and it was great. However, since then, my business partners and I looked at the landscape of what was happening in restaurants, looked at the direction that things were going even before COVID. I mean, Uber Eats was taking a hit on restaurants that weren't involved. And the culture was definitely shifting a lot more towards, takeout, grab and go. Summer comes along, people get food and want to go sit in the park. So when COVID happened and when we were forced to shut down, it gave us some time to really reflect and look at what we were doing. And our decision then was made to operate something that would work really well in the takeout and delivery landscape.
Right.
And then could transition into dine-in when the time is right. What we've done with that is our newest concept called Gianna's Patties and Pies, Detroit-style pizza, burgers, really simple food that anyone can understand. As you may understand, I personally have spent the last 3 years working with Eastern European food, a lot of which people didn't know anything about. And before that, I spent about 7 years working with Spanish food. And, putting together Gianna's, it was all about making something that people didn't need an explanation for.
Now, right now, it looks like you're working from your underground bunker, but you're actually in the old Tennessee Tavern. How have you been repurposing that space?
Well, I mean, as it stands, Jamie, we just spent quite a bit of time working on the kitchen, working on structural kind of, a leak in the floor, this sink doesn't work properly. We really spent our time working on the things that were frustrating to work with in the past that we never had the time to fix and make properly. And then, our goal right now is with the space, we are offering takeout and delivery 4 days a week, and it's entirely executed through the back door from the patio.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you've been here, you've seen the patio.
Of course,
space before. It's beautiful out there. So, I mean, really our goal is to start there. We're hoping that when restrictions can lift, we can get some people seated on the patio, be able to operate that for as long as we want until we're really ready to open indoors. Indoors, we'll be looking at some renovations. We need to address some issues with the washrooms that have been long-standing, and we aren't going to just open the same restaurant that we had.
Right. Of course. Now, if people were looking to get one of your wonderful, delicious pizzas or pies, where would they be looking?
So you can order directly through our Instagram, through Ambassador, or you can go to ambassador.ai. This is specifically for pickup. You can also opt for delivery through Uber Eats.
All right. Okay. And how have you found your experiences with Ambassador? I did a interview with Nav from Ambassador a few weeks ago, and it looks like the way forward to me.
I mean, it's great. It's about 10 years ago, if not more, when OpenTable took over the reservation game, everybody described OpenTable as the devil that you needed to work with.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Uber Eats has become the OpenTable of today. Uber Eats has become, the platform that you need as a restaurateur to drive those sales, but it's commission based, it's expensive. You know, Uber Eats charges 30%.
Yeah, yeah, it's criminal.
Ambassador, yeah, I mean, it really, and it all really translates to the consumer. Ambassador, I think, allows restaurants to better represent themselves. Um, you don't have the same restrictions for posting photos. You can change things instantly. I'm not sure if you're aware, but if I were to submit a photo to my Uber Eats page, it usually takes 3 to 5 days for that to be approved.
Oh, I had no idea. No, didn't know that.
So, I mean, you know, that's prohibitive.
Of
I
course.
can't feature for a day and put it on Uber.
Yeah, well, it fetters any kind of specials development or anything like
Yeah.
that. Right? So.
Yeah, and I mean, Ambassador, it's affordable, it's functional, it's, you know, that's gonna it lets restaurants represent themselves, and you know, if you choose to do it delivery through Ambassador, you take care of it. You know, it allows you to really highlight what you do, and I think that translates perfectly to the guest.
Got you, got you. Could I ask you to move a little bit more into the light? Because it looks like you're getting deeper and darker into your bunker.
So that is a UPS vehicle that pulled up in front
Oh,
of me
right, okay.
and has blocked my light
I
source.
see. Now, on to matters even more serious, I guess, but very much related. How do you see our industry, the hospitality industry, coming out of this pandemic?
That's a big question. I think there's going to be a lot of change.
Yes, yeah. Well, there has to
Uh,
be.
yeah, I mean, you know, I also think that the term "coming out of this pandemic" is interesting because
Yes.
you know we don't really have a coming out of this pandemic plan. We don't have an end of pandemic
Yes,
uh,
yeah. Yeah.
that we know of. You know, I think that you can already see that people are restless. People need to be out. You know, the fear of COVID seems to be decreasing. Uh, people are definitely relaxing and getting used to being out and getting used to being closer to people. But you know, I think there are peripheral prices that we will pay for that.
What are
And
your
I
thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the way that people are becoming less frightened of this virus?
how exactly do you mean? Like,
Well,
what
I
is
mean,
my
if you see all of those pictures of people congregating in Trinity Bellwoods or at bars on King West, does that worry you somewhat when these people are not really, uh, they're not really following any social distancing rules?
yeah? I mean, I would say disappointment more than worry.
Right?
Uh, you know, I think that it's reasonable for people want to get outside, and it's reasonable to want to be around your friends and to socialize. And I
Yeah,
personally
yeah.
miss that a lot. Um, but I also think it's, you know, it's everybody did such a really good job for the first while of respecting the
Yeah.
rules and understanding that this is something that we need to work on together. And you know, I think when I related to the restaurant industry, I looked at what was happening in the park that day, and I said to myself, I hope none of you are bartenders,
Oh God, yeah.
because you're already probably the least likely to get back to any kind of semblance of normal anytime soon,
Yeah.
and this isn't going to help that. You know, the more that we do that, the more we keep things going, and the longer it takes for us to get back to normal,
Of course.
if there
Well,
is normal.
so it's not all doom and gloom. Tell us about the most positive aspects of this experience that you have had yourself.
As far as the experience of COVID,
Yes.
well, I
And, lock,
mean,
and lockdown and the
yeah,
like.
I mean, I think that I'm not alone in these views. Most people that I've spoken to at this point are looking back and saying, the lockdown was quite nice. Uh, it was, you know, first of all, for the first 2 weeks of it, I removed myself from a lot of things that caused me a lot of stress in my life,
Right.
and was able to look at the whole world as being on pause and take some time to really reflect and, you know, spend some time with my wife and, you know, work on artistic endeavors and really just do the things that I enjoy doing without worrying about, you know, what's going to happen in my business while I'm not there, or, you know, where's my paycheck going to come from?
Right.
All of the day-to-day worries to some degree disappeared. I mean, they were replaced with other worries, but you know, definitely, I think the time to self, the time to with family, close family, has been great.
It's interesting, I feel, how people have been exposed to what another different type of life could feel like.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people have done a lot of introspection, uh, and hopefully discovered that there is a kind of better life that we could be living, that
right.
isn't this kind of rat race life. And another silver lining is it looks like our provincial liquor laws are in tatters.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah, you and me both. You and me both. Um,
Yeah,
Alec, Alec Colyer, thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today, and hopefully we'll get a chance to come and try some of your pies sometime soon.
please.
Brilliant. Bye for now.
Ciao.